gotta start this way. It's only right.
The Work Shoot Show.
Welcome into the Work Shoot Show.
The Work Shoot Show.
Now the Work Shoot Show. This is episode 2. I'm joined by my co-host, my guy, Mr. Peter McGinn. Pete, how you doing? We are here for GrandSlam review, baby.
Yeah, that was a pretty entertaining show. I got some words, but I think for the most part, I had a really good time watching this.
I agree. There were some things that it stuck out to me like a sore thumb, and I was like, oh. But for the most part, like you said, it was an entertaining show. And I can say, no matter about the choices, really, I can say all the matches were entertaining for the most part.
I would say all but one.
Yeah, okay. Yes. I'm interested to see which one you say because I feel the same way. And with one of them, I was more concerned with the after than the match itself. And I'm pretty sure we're talking about the same one, but we'll save that. So on this episode, we're going to be our main discussion is going to be AEW GrandSlam review. We're going to give it some ratings, 1 through 5 situation. What's Moxley's finisher? We're going to give it 1 through 5. One of Moxley's.
I got my own.
Oh, what you got? What you got?
I got my own rating for each match.
Ooh, okay.
So I'm gonna kind of freeball it, and if you want to play off of me, we can do that. Otherwise, you do your own thing. But
yeah, I'll probably play off you.
Yeah, let me do my ratings first, and then you can go as well.
Gotcha. Well, before we get to AEW, because that's like the main thing. There's a couple, just 2 or 3 WWE things we really got to talk about real quick. And starting off, Roman Reigns taking on Logan Paul at the Saudi event. It came out today. Well, it came out last week, and they had a press conference. But it came out today that the Saudi prince personally requested for Logan Paul, and he was like, this would be the biggest match in history, blah, blah. I've heard wrestling fans say that the Saudi universe doesn't count because they've had things happen over there. I mean, I'm gonna watch it, but if it doesn't count, then what's the the point of that,
I've watched a few Crown Jewels, and I've been pretty disappointed almost every single time I've watched it. It is one of, if not my least favorite pay-per-view. I'll probably not watch the pay-per-view itself, but I personally, okay, so here's the thing. Logan Paul is a huge name. They want eyes on the product. This makes sense. Facing Roman Reigns, though, I don't think makes any sense. I mean, we all know what's going to happen. I'm not really looking forward to this match at all. The press conference was amazing because Roman is just a god.
Yeah.
So that, I mean, honestly, that's probably going to be the highlight of this whole thing is the press conference. So it kind of worries me. If I hear word from other people, I might check it out later, but I'm probably skipping this pay-per-view, to be honest.
Hey, I don't blame you. I'll watch it for us and I'll let you know what it is. But man, I just don't know what Logan Paul, don't get twisted. I've watched his 2 matches. He's good, but
he is good.
What is he gonna do against Roman? And I think Logan Paul this is something where you beat him down, I guess, build him up later, when he's more experienced, if he wants to do WWE, because I think he could, but I just don't know. You're not beating Roman, but I should have known when I watched that Impulsive podcast when Roman was on there that was coming up. I should have known because they were talking, they were leading to that.
I think it's gonna be I think Logan's gonna have to do hijinks or something like that to even stand a chance. But I mean, it's just I need some level of threat, some level what are the odds that Roman wins? Probably 99.9% that he wins is my guess. So
and the only way he doesn't is if would they say the stuff that happens in the Saudis doesn't count.
Yeah. Nothing really ever changes. The belts really don't change on Crown Jewel. If they do, it's the 24/7 title or something like that. Who cares? So it's just one of those things where, and I think it's on at 9 in the morning or something like that.
Oh, so I might not even watch it. Yeah, if it's that early, then thank you.
Yeah, I'll go on Reddit. I'll see the results. If somebody says hey, this match was fire, I'll check it out. But yeah, honestly, just skipping most of it.
100%. Well, just had to touch on that. Another thing real quick. I think it's interesting. Triple H, man, he's saying, look, Vince is out of here. This is my show. Survivor Series, War Games, bringing back the NXT for 2 matches. We'll get a men's War Games and a women's War Games. But still, I think that's pretty pretty dope. And then Seth Rollins in just more Triple H matches. Seth Rollins and Riddle are fighting in like this only submission or knockout match inside like this pit. Like, okay.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of like the red versus blue side of Survivor Series. The one time that they did it with NXT, I was super jacked for, but like there's no like rivalry between red versus blue anymore. So it doesn't really make sense for that anymore with Survivor Series. I like this more where it's like, let's build something and then have 5 dudes or 10 dudes, I guess, go against each other, 10 girls go against each other, and have that style.
And that's what he said.
War Games is the best. I don't think there's ever been a bad War Games match in WWE. Even like the worst War Games match is like a 4-star.
And that's what Triple H said. Triple H was like, we're past the era of like Raw versus SmackDown because everybody's on every show anyway. It doesn't matter. I'm thinking it's got to be the Bloodline and Sami Zayn versus another 5.
It has to be. And then, so if you want, this is like the perfect opportunity for the Bloodline to lose because it doesn't really hurt them. If
no belts like, on the line. Yeah.
Yeah. Especially if like everybody, but like I can see it where like everybody gets smoked. It's like Roman versus 5 of them and he takes out like 4 and loses to like Bobby Lashley or something like that.
See, okay,
like,
wait. I got a pitch for you.
Okay.
This has been going around the internet and I had to, this is a perfect way to just bring up Dexter Lumis as well. So you saw the White Rabbit thing, right?
Oh, that's what they're doing with the White Rabbit is insane. This is so good.
So do you think it's going to be what they're saying, how it's Bray Wyatt bringing all of his Funhouse characters to like life? Dexter Lumis is one of them.
Dexter Lumis and the Bray Wyatt stable would be insane.
Yep. Karrion Kross is one of them. Scarlett's one of them. And then obviously Braun Strowman's the last one. And that equals 5 if you count Bray Wyatt.
So we got Bray, Braun, Dexter, Karrion, and who's the 5th?
Well,
Bray.
Scarlett
wouldn't count. So
I don't know. I think we would need a wild card. Yeah.
Would they bring back who's the redheaded beard guy?
Oh no, Buddy Matthews is in.
No, not Buddy Matthews.
I know you're talking about the giant. I'm looking at him. The bald head guy. Yeah. Ooh,
yeah. What's his? Oh man, what is his name? Eric Rowan. That's his name.
Yeah. Okay.
You'd bring back Eric Rowan and have that stable. Like
that would be pop.
And then we were talking about this earlier, where Cody Rhodes was like, I thought the only person that could beat Roman. Bray Wyatt could do it. I think if they want to establish something, you could have Bray. You could get the title off of Roman
and have Bray be the new heel faction.
Yeah, and he could cheat, and it'd be fine. And this is spicy. Survivor Games is. That's man.
It has a chance to be something. That's just what people are saying. Like that could be the possible team that fights the Bloodline. Because if not, it's probably just gonna be Bobby, KO, Seth, and like just a bunch of random people. And then
just throwing people
together.
Because you could do like Gunther, his 2 lackeys, Bobby Lashley, and like. I don't know, KO, because something like that. You can do something like that.
Take the champions and then like the most winning person right now.
Yeah, I'm all for like the White Rabbits versus the Bloodline. That would be oh my god, that'd be insane.
That would make War Games so intense, and then like of course Bray would have like his flair on it, so like I'd be into that. So but Survivor Series War Games, and I feel like the women's faction is gonna be Damage Control versus Bianca Belair squad. They just add 2 more people to each side.
Yeah, you could get Damage Control, and you could get like what's Mandy Rose's group called again? Fatal Attraction. You could grab like Mandy Rose and something, just heel girls from like NXT or something. Like
bring on the tag team the former tag team champions to join Bianca's side if you want.
Yeah.
Or you can go get young Nikita Lyons and someone else. I'm team Nikita, baby.
Oh, Nikita Lyons is gonna be the
mega star.
Oh my god, she has a jetpack strapped onto her back and she's going to the moon.
Like, just a matter of time.
Yeah, she's insane. She's gas.
So that's pretty much all our WWE thoughts for this week. I just want to say The Dexter Lumis thing I'm following closely. Just
Yeah.
like what he's doing. I just want to know what he did to Miz.
Yeah.
Like, how sick and twisted are we getting with this guy?
He's got the look for like, yeah, sick, twisted. He'd fit perfect with Bray Wyatt. Oh my God, I want that so bad.
Exactly. All right, let's jump to the main discussion of the show. Work Shoot Show. We're doing AEW GrandSlam review. We're going to go through each match, give it our rating, discuss the matches, discuss what can come from these storylines, and, just where AEW goes from here. So let's start off with the first one up top. I would say the absolute most shocking match. Like, just didn't see this coming. Claudio Castagnoli versus Jericho. The results are in. Me and Pete both got it wrong, and Pete's making me uphold the standard, even though if you listen to the episode, we told you that would happen. Like, we were like, man, only way Jericho wins if some cheating shenanigans happen. He does that, he gets it. And I even said this is literally fighting for the custody of Daniel Garcia, because he was in the back. Like, man, you really just screwed Ring of Honor. Is this a push to make, real quick, is this a push to make Daniel Garcia Ring of Honor champion?
I feel like it's more of, so like right now ROH doesn't have like a TV contract.
Yeah.
And I think if you had the name Chris Jericho attached to
builds it up
a belt, it's a higher selling point. I still don't get it because he's going on tour. And I know he did this in the past where he has gone on tour and still done shows where like he'll just get on a plane, wrestle, and then get back on a plane and go somewhere else. So he has done that before. He's just 51 years old, and I just didn't think that was going to happen again. But they said, screw it, let's throw the belt on Jericho, which is shocking because what are you going to do with Claudio now? Like, I
have no idea. It fit him so perfect because he's just a good wrestler. In the match, the match itself was good, man. I loved all those. Like, I felt like the storyline in the match, I thought it was going to be, damn, Claudio does all his moves. Now what does he do? How does he beat Jericho? And I thought he was going to find a way to overcome it, but he doesn't. I'm assuming you give him maybe a rematch because Claudio was so good in that match, man. And I got to give it to Jericho. The reversal Ricola bomb when he flipped, I was like, man, dude's old, but he's pulling off.
It was, I would say like this. It was a well orchestrated match that faltered a little bit. There's a few times where I saw Jericho kind of slip up, especially at the end with the ref interference. He kind of slipped it up with how that was handled. And it's just like, it just comes with age. Like, he's not as smooth as he was before. However, for a 51-year-old, he's killing it. Like, let's be real.
I'm taking that into consideration because when I saw him reverse I was like, damn, I didn't know he could still do this.
Yeah, I thought it was like a good kickoff match. It got him winning, I think, was a surprise to most people. I think it got the crowd a little bit like, oh shit, like anything is possible tonight.
It did.
I thought that was pretty good for it. However, it's like long-term storytelling. I don't get it.
Me neither. Like, that's where I'm like, because I was really buying into Claudio Castagnoli.
Me too. It's perfect for him. Like, does he go fight Daniel Garcia now? Like, I'm assuming he'll get a rematch because Jericho cheated.
Yeah, he has,
and he did, and hopefully
didn't abide by the Ring of Honor terms or whatever.
Yeah, so it was a little like, was the match fine? Yes, it was. And then I start scratching my head, and I try not to like that affect like my rating for like the match itself, but I think it kind of did. Unfortunately, I'm just a little confused. I don't want to like. In the words of Jay, I'm gonna let it cook. I'm gonna see what happens before I start like going on these rants or whatever. So overall, I thought this was a solid kickoff match.
Give us your rating, brother.
I'm gonna give it 2.5 Judas effects.
Ooh, okay, I like that.
It's like 2.5, 3 Judas effects.
Okay, and see that means that that tells me I'm not off base. You went 2.5, and I like that name. I'm going to use it. I'll go 2.75 Judas effects because I thought it was damn near 3. But you're right. The after's clouding my mind. But like you said, we're going to let it cook. I like that. Ooh, you set the tone perfect, Pete. All right.
And just for the listeners, 2.5 is just like, that's like getting a B on like a paper. It was good. It was good.
And and I was thinking B+. So cool. Yeah. Perfect. We're right. Anything that's like under that, under 2.5 is where you get into that C territory.
Yeah, when it's a 2, you don't start nitpicking, like some things went wrong, blah blah blah, stuff like that, which we will get to later. Which out of one of the matches that I have a problem with.
And speaking of, let's get to the next match. I was wrong with this one. Pete gets the first number on the board. I am 0-2 right now. Pete is 1-1 with Pac versus Orange Cassidy. Look, man, I said Orange was going to wrestle his ass off. He wrestled his ass off. Thought he would have got it. Pac got it for some cheating stuff. Maybe this builds a storyline with them, which makes it interesting for me. Or we're just throwing Orange around and letting him wrestle. We shall see. But thought the match was good.
I thought this match was solid. I actually had a buddy of mine watch this with me who has never watched wrestling before.
Did he like it?
He was more intrigued with like the rules behind it. Like, hey, how long can I be outside of the ring for? Hey, why isn't this a pin? And so like he was getting a little bit into it. So shout out to Miles for that. Hopefully he starts watching wrestling. But
that's awesome.
I was trying to explain Orange Cassidy's character to him, where it's like he doesn't really care. He's kind of like a jokester, and he only really did it kind of once this match, which I thought was great. He was like,
it showed he cared about Pac. That's the thing,
Yeah.
and that's why I think they got to do a rematch, because there's something there. That was the first time where like even the announcers like Excalibur and Taz were saying is like, man, Orange is showing the most emotion we've ever seen, and like, and like I loved it because I think it was when Pac was making fun of him for his little tapping, and when he shotgunned him out of there. After that, it was full blast.
That spot was so good. I just assumed that he's gonna go like, because he started the match hot.
Yep.
In the middle of the match, he started doing the stereotypical shin kicks. I was like, all right, he's getting kind of back into character, but he's just like, we're going up for this shotgun drop kick. I was like, yo, like Orange Cassidy's like killing it. Like,
that's the Orange Cassidy I fell in love with fighting Will Ospreay.
I had a fantastic time with this match. I really enjoyed the result of the match, because it showed that like when Orange is serious, like sometimes you have to pull up the stops to get the win. Where I didn't like Jericho cheating in this match, I liked Pac cheating in this match a lot.
I did too. He's the bastard Pac. Like that's
he's
him.
The bastard. He got caught off guard.
He didn't take Orange seriously. He hates losing. Like everything about it, it's like there's a grudge there. And where, like you said, unlike with Jericho and Claudio or whatever they do with Ring of Honor, there's a storyline here for the ACC belt, and it's making it matter.
Yes, it is, and they're making it matter with. I can see with Pac, but I think doing it with Orange Cassidy is kind of a challenge, and I think they're doing a great job with it. Yeah. My only like real complaint with this match is that it wasn't longer.
I agree.
I would have loved. These are two insanely athletic wrestlers. When Pac got DDT'd by Orange Cassidy and he like arched, I thought he broke his back.
And then he did it again. I was like, oh my gosh.
I was just blown away by how Pac was selling this. It made Orange Cassidy look like $1 million, which is what you're supposed to do. And yeah, I mean, MVP for the night was, I thought, Pac and Orange Cassidy. Like,
real okay,
they killed it. I love this match.
What you giving it? Let's see, what you rating it this one?
Yeah, I only think that my only complaint with this was that because he cheated, it ended faster. So I think it makes sense. I would have loved to see a longer match on like a real pay-per-view, where this was 13 minutes. If they can give me 20 plus. I think you could do something that would like showcase them completely. I'm giving this 3.5 cups of orange juice. This was
okay.
This was no pulp, delicious orange juice on this match.
Okay, I like that. Okay, so it's definitely not a 3 for me, but it's not a 4. I don't want to do the same thing as you, 3.5.
You can,
because I'm gonna give another match my match of the night. So I'm gonna go 3.25 cups of orange juice. It was damn good.
Okay. I'll take that. Yeah.
Damn good match. Shout out to Orange Cassidy and Pac. That's when we discuss MVP, we'll get to it. But now the next one, this is one we called Lyn's on the board, 1-2, Pete 2-1. We called this, but again, even to the point that we said of what does it actually mean when they show FTR on the screen after, I was like, oh my gosh, like Are we really setting up the Acclaim versus FTR? Like, is that gonna happen?
And we're not. No. We are getting FTR versus Gun Club, it looks like.
Yeah, true. Oh yeah, I forgot about those. Even the people that we even shit on more. That's what we're getting our favorite tag team versus.
Yeah, we can talk about that later, but this match, I fucking love this match.
This match was awesome. There was only one part of this match that I feel like I don't know if Max was supposed to fall. I don't know if he was supposed to.
I have one real issue with it. It might be the same thing, but I mean, first of all, let's start with the Acclaim. They are nuclear hot. They are on fire. That crowd popped so hard. I really sometimes most of Max
Pete,
Caster.
can you give me 1 second? My mom's calling me.
Okay, so let's start with the Acclaim in general. They are nuclear, on fire, hot. Scissor Me Daddy, the fact that is as over as it is just wild. And then they were doing it to like the
crowd.
Yeah, the crowd was like Scissor Me Daddy. I was like, what the fuck is happening? Like, only in wrestling does this happen. Max Caster, most of the time when he comes out and does like his little rap thing, is pretty good. There's sometimes where it misses. I thought this one was incredible.
Yeah, I thought he hit this week.
They got an Andrew Cuomo reference in New York was great.
That was the bar where I was like, okay. And also Excalibur selling DJ Who Kid. I was like, yeah, I got down with it. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. No JR kind of been hit.
Yeah. JR needs to. I think JR needs to either do like a pay-per-view every like 6 months or just retire.
Yeah, because when he said that Will Ospreay thing, that's what set it off.
Yeah.
But back to this match. Yeah, no, bars were great. When Bowens was like, New York, when he's about to say the claim, bro, it was just nuts. I felt for swerving Keith Lee because it was like, man, like, how do you respond after the crowd just goes so nuts for those dudes? And even Taz said that he was like, ooh, they got to regroup after the crowd.
and I think they know that. I mean, they've been wrestlers for a very long time. I think they know like when it's your time to give up the belt. And
it's your time, yeah.
When the Acclaim is hotter than FTR and the Bucks, that says something.
It does.
I think they're totally cool with losing the belts. I personally like Keith Lee and Swerve as singles instead of tag team anyway. I hate their tag team name. I think Swerve in Our Glory is just an awful tag name in general.
Even the match showed what I've been hating about them for so long. Just when they came out, they didn't feel like a team. It was like, okay, this wrestler and this wrestler, we're gonna go match. Even Fabulous being there, I was like, oh, this just doesn't even feel connected. Like,
yeah,
it didn't feel like anything. And like you said, Swerve's so good with those kicks and everything. I feel like he could have a great singles run.
Yeah, I love just Swerve just going solo, going crazy in his solo, like in his solo matches from before, and that's what fits him. And they kind of set it up where they might feud. Swerve hit Keith Lee with like a, I don't know, like a microwave or something.
Yeah, something over there. And then at the end of the match, when Keith Lee was trying to shake the Acclaim's hand, he was trying to call Swerve over. They like showed, because TV's not showing us everything, but they on TikTok they post all the and Swerve didn't want to go shake their hands, and Keith Lee like shook his head. He was like, "Come on, man." So like that's a possibility as well. The breakup situation.
Mm-hmm. I thought that Keith did a really good job at selling some of the moves that Bowens and Caster did to him, just because he's a big guy.
Yeah.
He got knocked on the giant. And I thought that when they did, it felt really impactful. I thought that was a really good part of the match.
The first time after Bowens tagged out, because Bowens, when it first started, Bowens couldn't get a hit on. When Caster did the flip and Taz was like, oh no, don't do it. And then when he did it, it just it was like, man.
It was seamless. A lot of times they do like the thing where like, they're like, oh, I can't get him up the first time. I can't get him up the second time. The third time, I got it. This was just like one fell swoop. It's like, oh shit. Like, what?
It made me buy into Caster as, I don't want to say the lead man of this squad, but like as like a legitimate wrestler, like a legitimate threat.
It reminds me of, I think it was like a Roman Brock match where like Roman hit Brock with like all of his moves, and then Brock kicked out at one, and you're like, oh shit. Like,
yeah.
It was like the opposite of that with this. Just like, oh, they just flipped Keith Lee like a pancake. Like,
This
Hey,
is gonna be
yo?
interesting. Yeah.
Yeah. That was one thing I thought that was really well done. Another thing that I liked a lot about this is they solidified that the Acclaim are legit heels. Like they are going to be heels going forward. And
So
I
you
thought,
you think that? Oh man,
well,
that's
I mean, Billy Gunn cheated.
he did.
He gave him a famouser for essentially to set up the win.
But it
So-
felt like that moment. It just, I feel like they have this thing where they're so over, man, to where it's like, I don't know how you make them heal because people. I love that moment. I was like, "Fuck yeah, daddy ass!"
Yeah, no, it was great. But I think what we had with the Acclaimed is they were kind of in between whether they're face or
Okay.
heel. They're getting the pop like their faces, and then in the ring they are like mostly heel, but sometimes it's like in between. And I thought this solidified them. It's like you can still cheer for them and be. I mean, MJF gets cheered like crazy. You
Yeah,
can still be healed. You can still get cheered for.
and be true.
But
All
like
right, that's a good point.
you have daddy ass on your side, utilize them. Like
Yeah.
and that's what they did, and they got the belts because of it. The only real problem I had with this match was Max Caster sort of like selling his knee at a point.
Okay, so do you think he's hurt, or you think that was
No.
okay?
I think, but like I don't think it was. I'm pretty sure it was just like part of the storyline with the match, but
With him missing that jump, that was my only. I was like, is this real? Is this fake? Like,
yeah,
and I just think because AEW had so many injuries recently that like that might not be something we should play around.
if it comes
with.
out and it's real, then this take is gonna be bad. But like I thought that like they kind of like brushed it off because at the end, Bowen's got the slam, and then Max Caster went up and did the elbow drop.
Yep.
And then it was over. And like he did that so seamlessly, like he wasn't hurt anymore. That's like my only like real problem with the match. Other than that, I thought this was a fantastic match. This was probably my match of the night. I had a great time with it.
Okay, that's okay. Boom. This is the match that I had to give higher. I was like, this is the one, and then like we'll get to Mox and thing, but I'm with you. This 100% match of the night. Shout out to the boys, Platinum Max Caster and my man Bowens. Also, shout out to Bowens because like I know this is something with me and you, two straight males, but I think this is big for representation of how Bowens is a member of the LGBTQ community. So that's awesome that they have an openly gay man who's the champion. So good, shout out to him.
Yeah, no, that is great. And he even tweeted about it today that he was kind of getting just like, hey, like we can do this. Like I thought it was really good. I think how they represent that in AEW is fantastic. Like not only with him, but like Sonny Kiss and some other people. It's just great. AEW is a very progressive company, and we see that
100%. So what you rating this, Pete?
Yep. So I gave the last match 3.5. This was my match of the night. I'm just gonna go a smidge above it. I'm gonna go 3.75. Scissor me, daddy.
Okay, nice. I'm a little bit ahead of you. I'm giving it a solid. I'm giving it a solid 4. I'm sticking with it. I loved it. Solid 4. Scissor me, daddies out here. Best match of the night.
Yep.
And MVP. Well, I guess we'll save it. But Bowens might be a contender for MVP, man. Like
night or for the match?
For the match.
Man, I think I'm gonna go with Keith Lee. I thought he was
okay.
I thought he was really good in this match.
Okay. I like that. No, Keith did a good job. Like Keith is the reason why they were able to go over so hard is because he sold it. Like it really wasn't Swerve. I don't know if that's a thing, but Swerve really wasn't the one that was getting attacked in this match. It was more so Keith Lee.
Yeah, they kind of like Swerve would like do his offense. He kind of gets smacked and kind of like thrown out of the ring.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like Keith was the one that was like in the ring taking the bumps, that type of thing. And I just thought that he just did a really good job of presenting himself as a threat, but then also giving the respect to Bowens and Caster like with their moveset. It was really well done. Yeah, I really enjoyed Keith's match.
100%. Now, I'm assuming that this is your worst match of the night.
This match was ass.
Yeah. It was. Look, man, I have a problem with and when it ended, I was like, damn, it ended so fast. Like, huh? And I have a problem with the fact that everything that happened after the match was more important than the match. And we're talking about Toni Storm, Serena Deeb, Athena, and Britt Baker. This is now we're on the board. Lyndon tied up 2-2 to Pete. Pete now has another loss.
I thought Britt was going to win. Lynn took Tony. I think I said back in the on the previous episode. I thought it was like 51% Britt, 49%
That's
Toni
exactly
Storm,
what you said.
because it's like it was only those two were going to win. There's no way they're giving it to Athena because she lost to like Jade Cargill, and then it's not going to be Serena Deeb. Even though I like her a lot as a wrestler, she just doesn't have.
I feel like it'd be Jamie Hayter before Serena Deeb.
She doesn't have like the look of a world champion. Like if she was like a tag team champ, like I think that makes more sense for her character. But this match was buns, bro. Like,
yeah, it wasn't good.
It started off like exactly like how I wanted it. It was quick. It was fast paced. The spots were really fun. Athena had that double suplex.
But she picked them both up, yeah.
And then she landed on Britt's face and busted her nose. Britt, it's like AEW gets a lot of flack for how much blood that there is, because sometimes they cut and whatever, they blade to show the whatever. Britt Baker just gets hurt.
She legitimately bleeds.
And it's like never her fault. Athena kind of didn't throw it far enough and like landed on her face and just busted her open. I do think that it made Britt look pretty badass.
Yeah, I was about to say it made her look a lot cooler for the end portion.
She did like a thing where she like wiped the blood and like wiped it on Toni, and I was like, damn, that's fucking that's so good.
She was licking it. She put it on her stomach. She, like you said, she rubbed it on Toni. I'm pretty sure she put a little bit on Athena too. Like it was, she did her thing. But again, all of that happened after the match. What we're talking about was after.
Britt losing makes no sense. Britt losing in a roll-up makes even less sense. This whole match could have been like a juggernaut fight where these women are like beating each other's asses, and they give it to like their last straw, and then they run out of gas. And that's where I thought it was going, because that's kind of like how it was setting up. They're doing their spots. It was looking really clean, and then I just out of nowhere it was over. It was a weak roll-up. It was a weak ass roll-up. It wasn't even like there's times where like they do like the roll-up set where they just go back and forth, rolling each other up and do like 1 2 1 2 1 2, and then eventually somebody gets it. It was just like quick 1 2 3. It's like, what?
Yeah, and it was over. Like I said, like I was so shocked on how fast it ended, and I feel like they sacrificed the match for the pop of Paige. I don't know her new name. I'm sorry.
Soraya. That's
Soraya Knight. Yeah, so they did it for the pop of Paige. And look, man, if the lady who revolutionized the WWE women's brand can't get your women's brand up to snuff, then it's not gonna happen.
It just doesn't make any sense, because they clearly showed that she's a face. She's coming in as a face, and they had the face win.
Yeah.
I'm just like, if you want, we talked about this last time. There's no superstars in the women's division in AEW. Soraya is a superstar.
Yeah, she is.
And what's she gonna do when she comes in here? They're gonna have a 3-way match. It's gonna be Britt,
Toni, and Soraya, and they're literally gonna push Toni to the side. It's literally gonna be and this is funny, because this is kind of what happened to Punk almost when Punk fought The Rock and Cena in that triple threat. I feel like she's gonna get pushed to the side, and like it's not gonna matter about Toni. Toni's just there so they can get the belt off her. It's gonna be Soraya and Britt Baker,
and neither of them have the belt. One of them should have the belt.
No, you're right.
It makes sense for one of them to have the belt, and
it makes more sense if Britt wins that match, takes the belt, then jumps everybody, and then Soraya Knight comes to save everybody.
I was watching, it was like somebody's debuting, and then Soraya came and it popped and it was crazy. And then at the end of it, they just roll out of the ring, and then Soraya's hugging Athena and
Toni Storm.
It's just like, what's the storyline here? What are we doing? And that's like the biggest thing with me. I think if this was just like a normal, my biggest problem, if this was a normal match on like a normal Wednesday, it'd be fine. As long as Britt Baker didn't lose, it would have been fine. But because Britt Baker lost, I think it's just dumb. That's why I hate this match so much. I legit thought it was garbage.
Look, I picked Toni to win, but I didn't think she would win like that. Like you said, I thought it became a bloodbath, like a slugfest towards the end. And it wasn't that. This made Toni look weak. I'm a big fan of Toni, but like now you're not even the lead face on your roster and you're the champion. Nope.
Yep.
It's literally just going to push you to the side once again. And I don't like that. And like with the first match, you can't help but think of future ramifications because of what happened in this match. With other matches, we can exclude FTR from the Acclaim match, but you cannot exclude Serena Knight running out and being the savior to the champion who now looks weak.
Yep. It's not a good look. I don't know where it's going. Like before I said, I'm gonna let it cook. I'm not gonna let this one cook because it doesn't make any sense. It just doesn't. It just seems to me like bad booking.
And hopefully they can get it right because the women have so much potential, but like they just book it bad, man. Don't know what it is over there. But what are you rating this one?
Yeah. So I'm gonna give this a 1.5 as in a 1.5 speed because I need to watch this match on 1.5 speed to get it over with because it was not good.
No. I'm gonna give this a 1.3 eye tapes.
Yeah.
Just wasn't good.
Just not good.
No.
Like the pop was great. I love that Sarai's here. But at the expense of the match, I don't get it.
Yeah.
I don't get it.
I
I
agree.
feel like it could have handled so much better.
I agree 2000%. And now for the final. Oh, wait, real quick before we do the final match. Do you want to talk about some of the in-between stuff? Because like MJF had his whole thing. We have FTR and all of that. Like those were the two major in-betweens. But man, MJF came out and cooked Wheeler Yuta. Wheeler Yuta just gets cooked, man. He might be going for the Ring of Honor Championship because I don't know what he's doing next either. Like he's in no man's land because he gave up the pure, I thought, to go chase something else. And like maybe it's Ring of Honor getting Claudio out the way. I don't know. But just like Scissor Me Daddy Ass is over, the devil worshippers are going to be over soon enough.
I think this is a good because what I projected last episode was that MJF wasn't cashing in this time, that he was going to cash in like the next big pay-per-view. So in between that time, you need to keep him relevant. I think him and Yuta would be a pretty solid like
match,
like
feud.
Filler's the bad word, but like if he fights Yuta, we all know where it's going. So it's kind of filler in a sense, but MJF is just the biggest asshole in the world, and I love him.
Yeah,
he like made Tony Schiavone just pushed him down.
When that happened, I was like, "No, Tony!"
I thought that was so well done. Like I'm trying to remember the last time where they kind of like fucked around with like a commentator or something like that. Where like he's not going to do that to Taz. Like Taz would like eat him,
suplex him.
Yeah, but like you can do that to Tony Schiavone. Sure, why not? Like let's just keep building this heat. And Wheeler Yuta is just like the pure baby face. I think it all makes sense. I had a really good time watching this promo. My buddy Miles, who watched this, who didn't really understand what the promo was, thought it was hilarious. He thinks MJF is like the coolest dude ever.
He's the man, bro. And then when you have W. Morrissey coming out and like just being his attack dog, I just loved it. MJF looked so strong in that moment, punching with the ring, having Morrissey come out and just dominate.
Yeah, it's
I was like, fun. Damn, the firm is real.
It's fun seeing somebody's like first time eyes on the prize, and they're like, yeah, MJF is gas. It's like, okay, that's really good when you want new eyes on the product and the top people have that like pizzazz. So I thought that to me, that's just like, I love that stuff. And
I thought where that worked, I thought MJF's other faction didn't like. The Gun Club versus FTR does nothing for me. Does absolutely nothing for me.
Yeah, like what are they trying to get over the Gun Club? In that I can see it because I can just see them cheating and having the Gun Club essentially win by cheating, and it doesn't really hurt FTR because they're also just mega red hot.
Yeah,
and I kind of like the storyline of like the FTR kind of just keep getting stopped before they can actually challenge for the belt. Like they said that, I think in the promo, they're like, we've been the number one contender since April. Like
they have.
I kind of like this storyline with FTR. It's fun. And now the Gun Club's just like, hey, fight us. And FTR's just like, we just want to fight for the belts.
Do you make the Gun Club win to fight the Acclaimed again?
Yeah. I think you if you want to establish like MJF and like their whole group, I think the Gun Club can win by cheating
Mm-hmm.
and it'd be fine, but it still gets them over.
And it's even more storyline because MJF's former tag team used to be FTR.
Yeah. So
So
I think the storyline's there, and FTR is in a position where they can put the over the Gun Club and it'd be fine. Yeah.
okay, you convinced me, and they don't lose any belts. They don't lose. Okay, as long as
Yeah,
as long as my
no
boys are
belts
okay.
lost. Or
Cool.
they could lose like the Ring of Honor belt. Sure. That's fine. Like,
But they ain't losing the IWGP.
They ain't
though.
lose the IWGP. Hell no.
Yeah.
There's no way in hell they're losing that. But if they want to, if say FTR is traveling more, especially since they're IWGP and they go to Japan or something like that, and you want to keep the ROH belts
Local.
in the sphere and local, I think Gun Club is fine. They're
Okay.
up and coming. It gives them some credibility to their name a little bit, and
Which they need.
Yeah, and just with MJF as like the leader, it's like I think it kind of makes sense.
Put the belts on the firm. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, fair enough. I see what you're saying. You convinced me. And speaking of that, let's get to the final match. Bryan Danielson versus Jon Moxley. You got MJF up in the owner's box with his casino looking down at his thing. And look, man, I don't think this was Moxley's best match as a champion, but I still think it was how you felt about Pac and Orange Cassidy's how I feel about this match. I feel like it was solid. It did its job. Was it the best championship match? No. But was it a bad match? No.
No, not at all. I really enjoyed this match for what it was. I feel like, to me, the name like Moxley versus Danielson is a huge deal. It got 19 minutes. I feel like it probably should have got like 29 minutes.
Yeah, I agree.
Especially as they're like the Blackpool Combat Club, they're brawlers, and they did brawl. Don't get me wrong. The fact that they were like slapping the shit out of each other, like,
bro, all those Bryan
wonderful.
Danielson neck kicks to Moxley, I was just like, oh my gosh.
Some of those chops were echoing for miles. That part was good. I just feel like you have two just historic Hall of Fame wrestlers like in the ring together,
and they paid homage to wrestling history too by doing that on the head thing where they're slapping each other.
That was fun.
I forget the New Japan wrestlers, but they paid homage. I saw the clips after.
Yeah, and Mox with the curb stomp for
to Seth. I love that.
And I was like, oh, is the Superman punch coming up? Is the spear coming up? It never came, but that was kind of cool. That Mox kind of like gave the nod
to win the championship. Rollins. Gave a nod to his homie. I would love if for him to win the next one, he pulls out the spear of the Superman punch.
Or like a pedigree or something. That'd be hilarious. Kind of like the Pac and Orange Cassidy thing. My biggest problem with this match is just I wish it was longer. I wish we could have seen them just. I feel like kind of like the women's match where like they were going full throttle. I was hoping they like gas out and that's why somebody lost.
Mm-hmm.
It didn't really feel like that in this match where like it feels like Moxley got like the good hook in, tapped him out, which was great. I love that. I love the ending, but like I feel like they still had the gas in them that I wanted to see that. And that's my only like real problem with the match.
That's why it wasn't match of the night for me. It's like I love that Moxley submits Danielson. Blackpool Combat Club, y'all know y'all's moves, y'all are doing each other's moves. It makes sense. The only way to take out a warrior like Danielson is to put him out. You have to put him out. Yep. But like you said, I feel like they still both had gas, and it's like they needed to be dog tired to where, oh, this is the last stand. We got the submission. Now they both lay on their backs like Moxley wins. That's kind of what I wanted from it, and that's why it's not match of the night for me. But like you said, still great, and I love that he submitted him. That was
there was a spot in a match a few years ago where like it was kind of like the same thing, two brawlers, two like grapplers, and they get to the point where they're like chopping each other, and they just keep chopping each other, and then they just both just fall down, like exhausted.
That'd have been dope.
They can't. I know Kenny did that one in a match with Okada, where Okada was like setting up for like a rainmaker, and Kenny just like fell down and collapsed. It was like that's where it's like they gave it their all, and that's kind of what I was hoping for, but. It's one of those things where like they're restricted on time because this isn't a pay-per-view. This was a TV show. They had 2 hours to fill 5 matches. And because of that, it's like, do I want to like dock points because of that? Not really.
But it's how it made us feel though. So like that's like an honest thing.
Also, the TV cut before
I hated it.
before Brian put the belt on Moxley.
I hate that I had to go to TikTok to watch that.
Yeah, it's like that could have been a really cool moment, and I just missed it. It's just the TV cut like right there, which
and it's supposed to be like this is the Blackpool Combat Club establishing themselves as the top faction. It's like like these two dudes, there's no beef. I'm putting the belt around him, Regal. You get back. I respect this. And that should have been shown on TV. And it's gonna be showed on Rampage on Friday, and they're gonna do the whole Kenny Omega thing where it's like after the match on Wednesday, this happened.
Yeah, so stuff like that. Otherwise, the match, a lot of fun, a lot of brawling, a lot of grappling, a lot of slapping.
Yeah, a lot of slapping.
In the words of Big E, big meaty men slapping meat.
Yeah, that's exactly what it was.
There was like a spot where he did Moxley did one of his moves on the ramp that I thought was that looked so good. He suplexed Danielson. It looked like it hurt, and then he kind of slid down the ramp. And then he rolled into the ring, and it's like, oh, that was a really
so
good spot.
Beautiful, and that
was a really good spot.
The way Danielson sold getting hit on that ramp, it was like, oh, I know that hurt.
Yeah. So overall, great match. I wish we could have seen the ending, and I wish we could have got 7 to 10 minutes more.
Facts.
But
I'm just happy my guy got it. But the only thing I'll say is, I can't have Max cash in at least until the end of the year. They got to hold, because John, granted, you're going to give it to him so John can get his vacation, but let's make him a champ longer than 2 weeks.
Oh, well, the thing is, Mox needs to go on vacation. He's already planning on going on vacation. And so I can see, I got to look up when the next big pay-per-view is
for AEW.
For AEW, but Let's feel like this is going to be a very short stint.
So you think it's going to happen whenever the next one is? So look, all right, I got the 2022 up. Okay, so the next one is Battle of the Belts, October 7th. Or I think it'll be Full Gear. TBA.
No, it's got say Battle of the Belts isn't it would have to be Full Gear.
Yeah, and then Full Gear is in New Jersey, November 19th, in that area for MJF. It'll probably be
Full Gear November. Yeah, 2-month reign,
and that's cool. That's what I'm talking about. Give him just 3 months. That's all I wanted.
Yeah, and in the meantime, Mox can. Oh, you know what? I think it'd be great if Mox kind of got quote unquote hurt in Battle of the Belts, and then when he fights MJF, I guess. Maybe not. Maybe at Full Gear he gets quote unquote hurt, so it doesn't look too bad when
MJF beats him.
When MJF beats him, type of thing, and that way Mox can go on vacation for whatever,
and then come back still strong.
Come back, and he can fight MJF again. And how they ever want to handle that'd be great. So,
but he proved, man, he's the ace of AEW, and I love it.
I like that he's the fighting ace of AEW. He's not like The Rock, where The Rock is all mic. And his in-ring work is fine or whatever, but Mox is he's the full package.
He's the perfect champion. The only thing is he doesn't do that outside the ring stuff because he doesn't like people, but in terms of what you want inside the ring and promo wise, he kills it.
Loved it. I'm just mad that I picked Danielson and he lost. But other than that, yeah, I thought this was a really
it makes
solid
sense.
match.
Look, hey, another potential storyline. Bryan Danielson may be going after Ring of Honor and save it for the custody of Daniel Garcia.
I think that does make sense.
It just fucks Claudio. Claudio's fucked no matter what.
Yeah, rest in peace to Claudio. Honestly, that sucks. But we'll see where it goes from here. Maybe he is just chilling and with Yuta or something like that. And maybe Claudio can fight Morrissey or something like that.
Ooh, or maybe Claudio fights and you bring back Samoa Joe, and maybe Claudio fights Samoa Joe.
That'd be fun.
And you bring back that old rivalry.
Yeah, I'm gonna let that one cook. We'll see where that goes. But yeah,
that's pretty much
Claudio.
Yeah, for sure. But that's pretty much it. Friday. But you guys will hear this Friday, so that night there is a AEW Rampage Part 2.
Yep.
Yeah. It's 2 hours. Only thing I'm really interested in is seeing Hook and Action Bronson bust up on the Jericho Society.
That looks fun. And Eddie Kingston versus Sammy Guevara.
Oh yeah, they're bringing because they apologized to each other. They're finally letting them do it.
Eddie's my favorite. He's now above Kenny Omega as my favorite AEW wrestler. I love Eddie Kingston.
Okay,
bro, his suicide prevention thing that he came out with was just incredible.
Dope. Yeah,
it was so good. I love Eddie Kingston so much. I hope he becomes champion.
You think he'll beat Sammy?
Yeah,
okay.
I do.
Okay.
Well, no, I think Sammy's winning, but
they're getting Sammy hot, man. And then also, was that Malachi Black in that body bag? Was that the symbolization?
Oh yeah, that'd be interesting. Yeah, because he asked for his release, and it looks like he's got some like mental health problems or something like that.
That's why I think it's fucked up if it was him. Like,
if it was him, I mean, we'll see.
Because they're fighting Buddy Matthews and Brody Lee at the Brody King. Yeah. Excuse me. At Friday for the with like it's a no holds bar, no disqualification.
Yep.
Yeah, it's like the end of the feud.
Yeah. There's a couple ones I want to see. I mean, Hobbs and Starks are fighting.
That's the one. Oh my gosh, that's the one. And I need my man Ricky Starks to win so we can begin the ascent to AEW champion.
Yeah. I think Starks needs to win that one because they can continue that because Hobbs won the first one.
Mm-hmm.
If Starks wins the second one, they can do a third one. So
they can, or if they don't, and you want to send Hobbs somewhere meaningful and give someone who's a champion someone meaningful to fight, Wardlow is dying for someone. Like Wardlow needs someone at the TNT Championship, and I think Hobbs versus Wardlow would be nuts.
I'd say Hobbs versus Wardlow or Morrissey versus Wardlow right now. I think is kind of where we're at.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's kind of like what I'm thinking. But yeah, I mean, Rampage is probably going to be a whole lot of fun. I will probably watch it, to be honest.
Same.
I saw some clips of Action Bronson doing like a body to body suplex that looked pretty clean. So I'm
hyped for that. Yeah,
I'm excited. I love Matt Menard or whatever his name is from the Jericho Appreciation Society. I love him. So I'm just looking forward to seeing those people that I thoroughly enjoy watching. And Action Bronson, just go at it. It'll be fun.
Yeah, I agree. Well, that's pretty much everything. Y'all won't. We dropped so much content.
One more thing. Did you see the news that CM Punk is probably likely to get bought out? He's not coming back.
Done.
It's just rumors now, but I think that is the best route for both parties at this point.
Yeah, I agree. And then like we can bring Kenny and the Bucks back in November. Full gear.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, absolutely. I think set up the Bucks versus the Acclaimed if they want to do that. I think that'd be really fun. And
or you can let them go get their trios titles back versus Pac, even though like those things don't mean anything. Really.
Yeah, I feel like it'll be interesting to see when they come back and who's the champ. I would prefer Kenny at the top of the card.
Yeah, same.
And not in the trios.
But I don't necessarily want to see Kenny versus MJF. I do.
Oh,
you think it'd be good?
I think it'd be really fun.
Ooh, okay. You might convince me.
Kenny can like do anything with any character. Like when he did like him and Okada, it was super serious business, all this stuff. And then do you know who Toru Yano is in New Japan by any chance?
No, I don't.
So he's like the clown. He's like the jokester. He always cheats to win, but he cheats in like by like tying you up in rope so you can't or like get away.
Okay.
He's like a terrible wrestler, but he's a comedic relief.
So you can have that type of stuff with MJF.
And him and Kenny killed it. And I think Kenny can do anything with anybody. And I think Kenny just elevating MJF would be really cool to see.
100%. All right. Well, yeah, then maybe look, that's something I'm gonna let cook for myself, but we shall see.
Yep.
But that's pretty much everything. Pete, tell the people where they can follow you at on social media.
Yeah, if you want to follow me, I'm most active on my anime Twitter. So if you're not a fan of anime, that's where I'm most active though. Anyway, what do you say, Annie? What do you say, ANI on Twitter? If you want to talk wrestling, yeah, I talk wrestling every now and then on that account. But yeah, it's mostly anime. But that's where you can find me.
Y'all go follow Pete. Check out his pod. Y'all can follow me at LynBWT. Follow BrosWhoThink at BrosWhoThink. A lot of content out on both sides. Check out both me and Pete's content. But we will be off next week, probably back in 2 weeks, because like we've dropped a lot of videos for y'all. Y'all go check them out. We've dropped like 3, so y'all go check out that, and we'll let some storylines cook. But we will be back soon. Until then, y'all have a good one and peace.
See ya.